Hey y'all, welcome to Monner's Market. Thank you so much for coming. I'm doing things a little bit differently with the opening today. I have been so incredibly busy that I didn't even get a chance to record an opening for this video, but this is what I'm going to be making. I made this little sign. Those window clings came from the Dollar General. Everything else came from the Dollar Tree. And made the sign, the little snowman, and the little gumball machine. And the gumball machine is my absolute favorite. I love that stinking little thing. But leave me a message in the comments and let me know what you think about everything. Thank you for coming and enjoy. Alrighty, here we go. For DIY number 1, I made this adorable little gumball machine. Now, obviously, it can't be used, and the gumballs are in there permanently, but it is real gumballs, and I love, love, love the way it turned out. So I used 2 glasses from the Dollar Tree. The one that's painted red, of course, I lost footage, but that's just one of their little drinking glasses that you can get, a fishbowl, gumballs, and a couple of other things. So what I did once I got the red painted is I stuffed it full of bags, honestly, because that was a lot easier than trying to cut out something and glue it on and make sure it didn't hang over and blah blah blah, all of that good stuff. So I filled it up with gumballs. It took 2 packs, and I took the bag and just kind of glued it in place where it wasn't shifting all around. And because we weren't going to use the gumballs after this, obviously, I knew the glue wasn't going to hurt anything. So I got it really full, glued it on top of the sort of fish bowl. I guess that's what it's called, really, is a fish bowl. And that was the base of the gumball machine. And that alone was adorable. But what I'd done is I took a command strip and added it for the little part that the gum would fall out into if you were to really buy one. And it looked adorable. You can see it's already glued on there, and it's also with the footage of where I spray painted it red. But all I did was flipped it upside down, spray painted the whole thing red. That was it. It was super quick, super easy. And the command strips, I think there was 4 in a pack at the Dollar Tree. They come in white, clear, silver, and I just grabbed a pack of silver because I knew I was going to be adding a silver turn screw thing or whatever that thingy-majigger bobber's called that you turn it with. Does that even make sense? I know what I just said was babbling, but you'll see in the end what I'm talking about. So I took a cap off of a Coke bottle because it was already red, and I thought I could be lazy and just leave it red, but I got to looking at it and it was kind of cheesy, so I gave it a little coat of paint, and that's the command strip right there at the bottom. And that was cute enough, but and I did add that piece of lace right there so that it would cover up the glue line. So I went back to the Dollar Tree and I found this can opener. And all I needed from the can opener was the part that you twist. That was all I needed. My husband's like, "You really bought this to tear apart?" I'm like, "Yeah, baby, I do it all the time." But anyway, I just wanted that little piece to go on to look like the piece that you unscrew it with. Not unscrew it, but you twist. You know what I'm talking about. You've put money in a gumball machine before. The little twisty turny thing that you put your money in, you turn it, your gumball pops out. Well, my problem was I'm trying to glue metal onto glass, and it just wasn't working. So it ended up taking a crap ton of glue. So I tried it with super glue, and then not super glue, but hot glue. And then I ended up pulling it off, adding some E6000 and then hot glue. And of course, I'm not in frame. Dear Lord. Anyway, so I ended up getting it to stick. And you see where I used all of that glue. So then I was like, man, I hate the way all of that glue looks. So I ended up going back and getting some twine. And I did that for a couple of reasons. I wanted it a little bit more farmhousey And the way it was looking, I thought the lace would do it, but it just wasn't enough farmhouse for me. And thank goodness that glue comes off of glass really easy, because it was like everywhere. So I added, you'll see in just a minute, where I added some twine around the base where I glued that little turner on there. And that's me adding the twine. And I really liked it after I added the twine. It gave it a lot more character. And it just turned out a lot cuter than I thought. And that strictly was to hide that glue. But then, after I put it around that, I was like, well, I need more twine in another place, so it's not just like, it doesn't look out of place. So I go back and I add twine around the top of the Coke bottle top thingy. And then I added some more twine around that lace. And it was just to give it, a little bit more character and bring it all together and make it look better. Then I had these little wood beads, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to add a little red one in the front and a red one on the top. And that was it. And that is the way it turned out. So you figure 1, 2, 3, maybe, like, if you count all the money together, maybe $350 in this whole thing. And no, you can't use the gum in it, but it's so stinking cute. And it's actually kind of big. I think it was like 8 inches tall, maybe 9 inches, including that little topper right there. But I just thought it was adorable. Too stinking cute. And I love, 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 love the way it turned out. And got a compliment from my husband in the end with it too. So that was kind of cool. Because he's a guy and they don't usually compliment on stuff like that. Now, DIY number 2 is a sign that I made. Now, if truth be told, I'm not real happy with the fact that you can see the edges to these clings, but everybody's using these clings. You get these sheet of clings from the Dollar General, and they are so pretty, and I just didn't want to waste them. So I took a board, I sanded it down, and I didn't show you me sanding it, because what I do when I get my boards, I buy several at a time, and I just go through and just sand them all at one time. That way, I don't have to go back every single time and sand them. So I just took some white Waverly chalk paint and watered it down. And you can really see on this one the wood stain coming through. And I loved it. I just wanted it to have a little bit of white. Nothing that would really overtake that wood too much. And I was so tickled at the way it turned out. You could really see the wood popping through there. Gave me a wider background to deal with, and it just turned out
So what
cute.
I'm doing here is just
really,
drying
really
my
pleased with
first
the way it turned out.
layer of polyacrylic.
So
and
here, that's just me
getting
just
it
ready to
painting
put
away.
my little window clings on. Because y'all should know by now I am impatient. And I don't know where all that dirt came from on the back of that, but I was not real happy that it had so much dirt on there. But I went ahead and knew it was going to be hanging up on the wall, so just went ahead and put the polyacrylic on it, because I still wanted it to have a finished look, and use that as the back side. And nobody's going to see it hanging back there, but still, it drove me crazy that it had those daggum little spots on it. And that's probably from where I was painting it and set it down on a board that was dirty outside, so I got to be real careful next time to make sure I don't do that. And then all there is that's left to do was just go ahead and put my window clings on, and I kind of placed them down a couple of times before I settled on where I wanted it to be. And once I got it like I wanted it, I just took some Mod Podge and Mod Podged it down, and was kind of, I guess I was happy with it. Like I said, whenever I first started talking about this, I don't like the fact that whenever it's finished, you can actually see the edges of the window clings. But my husband absolutely raved about it. And so have a couple of other people who have come in and seen it. So I guess, I'm just too hard on myself and need to give myself a little bit more credit, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I got my clings put where I wanted them, got my Mod Podge, got them all put in place, and now I'm going back over and Mod Podging the top of them. just to make sure I didn't miss any little corners or edges or whatever. So dummy me starts using a heat gun on plastic. Well, hello, it's gonna melt it, dummy. So I had to stop using the heat and push the bubbles down, and then I was like, okay, that's ridiculous. Heat plus plastic equals a hot mess. So I cut all of that out where you didn't have to see it. So now I'm just putting on my layer of polyacrylic to sort of finish it up. And once I got it finished, I liked it, but I wanted it to be a little more distressed than it was. So I go back in with some truffle paint by Waverly. I think it's just the acrylic. I don't think it was the chalk paint. But I went back in and I distressed it all over. And I really, really liked the way it looked whenever I was finished with it. Gave it sort of a, you know, like an older distressed look. And you could still see the edges of the window clings, but not as much as you could before I added that distressing on there. But I really did like the way it turned out. I thought it was really pretty. So after that, I took some black and red buffalo check ribbon and started making me a bow. And I've told y'all before, and I mean it, I'm not a bow maker. I actually just signed up for this course from, oh gosh, what's it called? Southern something or other. I don't know. I'll have to find it and put it in the links down below. And it's an actual bow making course. So hopefully the next one I do will look a lot better than this one. However, with all of that being said, this was kind of my best bow I've ever made. So you'll see whenever I get it finished that it looked a whole lot better than my ones in the past. But I was watching one of Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs videos the other day with the way that she does her bows, and mine always have a crap ton of glue, and it just, if you kind of move those bows around and look up under it, to me it just looks terrible. Now I don't know who goes and moves the bows around and looks up under it other than me, but if somebody did, I wouldn't want them seeing all of that. Well, Sammy, as smart as she is, goes in and she puts one zip tie around everything, and it is so clean and so beautiful, and there's not a big bunch of a mess everywhere, and it's just perfect. So I'm gonna definitely do her bow on my next bow. I mean her method on my next bow, if I can get my tongue untied there. So anyway, then I go in and add some greenery and a couple of picks that I got from the Dollar Tree, and voila. And this was my end result, and I absolutely love it. I did put a hanger on the back of it so you could hang it on a wall, but I completely forgot to add that part to the video. But I really like the way the bow turned out. I love the greenery that I added, and overall I'm pretty tickled with it. Now this last one is a snowman. I think he is absolutely adorable. I made him with two of the larger fish bowls. The one that I used for the bubblegum machine is a little bit smaller than these two. So I took two of the bigger fish bowls from the Dollar Tree, two of the mop. It's not a mop head. It's like a, I should have looked at the tag to see what they're called, but like a duster, a mop duster, or floor duster, I think is what it's actually called. And I've seen people use them on top of all kind of stuff, but I haven't seen anybody use it inside of anything. So I thought I would try using it on the inside to color this white, but I wanted it furry and fluffy, and I just really thought it would look pretty on the inside, and I do like the way it turned out. It turned out just like I wanted it to. So I took those 2 fish bowls and those 2 dusters and added them to the inside. And then I took a strip of hot glue and some E6000 and put it around the middle. And I'm still kind of just looking at it like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Of course, I'm out of frame. Y'all don't give up on me. You've been patient for the last few that I've done, but hopefully you can see enough in these videos to see between that and my description, you know, like exactly what I've done. Now I took the hat back off because there was a little spot in there that it wasn't perfect with, and I like it as perfect as I can get it. But overall, I thought this turned out really, really cute whenever I'm done. So I kept on fluffing until I got it exactly like I wanted it. Then I ended up gluing them together with some E6000 and hot glue. And then I took some buffalo check, the black and red buffalo check ribbon, and made him a little scarf. Now, I am not a drawer under any uncertain terms. Cannot draw for nothing. I've told y'all before, I can't even draw a stick man, and that's the truth. So I went to my Cricut and I found a set of eyes and nose and little buttons and stuff that I liked, and I just cut them out, and that's what I'm using for his little face and his buttons that go down the front. So make sure whenever you leave your comments that you let me know which one of these was your favorite. I don't know which one my favorite was really. Probably the Gumball Machine. I'm still in love with that Gumball Machine. So let me know what you think. But anyway, this is how he turned out, and I just love him. I think those little floor dusters are just adorable inside that glass. And he's still got that glassy shine, and I don't know, I just like it. I just noticed that I put the blue on top of the black. That's backwards. I should have put the blue first and then the black on top of that, and then the little other black parts. But anyway, y'all probably wouldn't have even known that if I hadn't pointed it out. But he's cute. I think he's adorable. Love, love, love the detail. His little scarf. Yeah, I think he's cute. So let's take a look at the things that we did today. And obviously not in order. This is my little sign that I did. I'm kind of doing a close-up where you can see what I was talking about in the very beginning about how you can see the edges to the cling. But for one, when you're looking at it from a distance, you really don't see it. And two, like literally everybody who has seen it just fell in love with it. So maybe I'm just being too hard on myself. But let me know what you think about it in the comments. And here's my little trio all together. But thank you for coming. If you're not already subscribed, please do. Click the little bell where you'll be notified every time I upload something new. And share. Share with your friends. Tell everybody about me. I'm almost at 100 subscribers and super excited about that. I'm going to do another giveaway when I get there. So tell everybody about Monter's Market. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And thanks for coming. You guys have absolutely no idea how much I appreciate you coming and checking out what I do every week. Love y'all.